What's up, guys? I just saw the release for Shining Revelry and I'm super excited to go home and check it out. I just got to the gym though, so I have to do this first.
So I have made it back from the gym. Right here, I'm going to show you the new TCG Pocket Shining Revelry release trailer. It looks so good. Let's go ahead and get into it. And there we go. All right. So first off, beautiful background. We've got all the flipped over cards. We've got Beedrill, we've got Varoom, we've got Lucario, and we're doing the new shiny Pokemon. Going to be so beautiful. The card art in this game is absolutely fantastic. We're going to be A2B. This is like that secondary set. We've got a beautiful Charizard EX. That's the new shiny rarity. I think it's like a 2-star rarity. We've got Lucario EX with the green, and not the most attractive color in my opinion, but still looks good. We've got some really interesting Pokemon coming. We've got Tatsugiri, we've got Sprigatito, we've got Pinsir, we've got Red Iono. So we're doing like a Paldean thing. We've got it, and it's coming out March 27th. That is so quick, but we're gonna go ahead and flip through some of these cards really quick. This Charizard is a really interesting direction for the game to go. Basically what it is it's going to deal 150 damage for 5 with no drawback except a really hefty cost, and it's 1 energy going to give you 3 energy. So only 2 energy plus Stoke, and this thing is ready to go and knock most of the cards in the game out, especially when you look at the new red card that was just released. The thing about this that I think is so interesting from a card design standpoint is the fact that it has to be on the field in the active spot to use this attack. So it's going to be vulnerable for a turn. We haven't really seen this when it comes to setup mons before. It's just something that I think is a really good direction and makes this card more vulnerable than sitting on the bench while Moltres powers it up and it comes out and destroys everything. Because of that, I don't think it'll be as good, but you can still use Moltres to power this up as well. So it actually has a really interesting trade-off from regular Charizard EX. Beautiful card. The shiny is so cool. We've got the Lucario EX. This one does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon on top, so it's got like a sniping effect, plus 100 damage, which is 120 with the Lucario, with base Lucario, which is super cool. If we look here, we've got Wiglet, who has a very similar effect to the next one, the Wig Trio that we're about to see. But it basically chooses, it looks like one of your opponents at random and deals 30 damage to it. Could be really cool. Has some really interesting Dragonite type effects, a card that I love. But we've got Pachirisu going to power up electric types on the bench. Really cool card. Something like Zapdos EX can benefit from this. Something like Electivire. Something like Luxray can utilize this, and then, so Pachirisu probably going to go in that Volkner deck, and Varoom is just big chillin', but cool card. I'm less familiar with Scarlet and Violet. I've only played through it once, and then my Switch broke. But we've got the Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri here is going to make your Dodonzo have a free retreat cost. We've seen this be really effective. I don't think it'll be as good with cards like Cyrus, but then we've got this Sprigatito, and this Sprigatito is so cool. I think it's going to create so many interesting deck creation strategies, because pulling a random grass from your deck, depending on what the evolved forms of Sprigatito look like, is going to make it much more consistent, especially going second, getting that cry for help and pulling something out. But even some really interesting, you could play something like Executor EX, Execute, and Sprigatito, and then you're guaranteed to get that Executor EX. It can just, if you do a guaranteed basic Pokemon, plus you have a copy of Communicator, a Sprigatito, a Pokeball, and an Executor EX, you're guaranteed to get to that next spot. So I think there's some really tight deck building that could be happening. And even with Celebi, right? You could play Sprigatito, Executor EX, Celebi EX, and then Execute. And then that being a little package that you put in. We've got the Pinsir, who's got this continuous flip effect. Those aren't always that good. Red here is such a cool card, and I think if anyone's been watching my Pokemon Pocket Roulette series, could create an entire paradigm shift. Basically, it causes 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. This creates a lot of breakpoints, things that Giovanni can't do. But if the opponent is not playing EXs, you have suddenly lost the ability to use this card at all. And having the opponent, as more cards get better, it's more important for each of your cards to be more impactful. And if this is a card the opponent is playing that can't affect you, you're in a much better position. Also, what a cool card art. I cannot wait to see the full art. Iono here, each player shuffles their hands into their decks and draws that many cards. I don't think this is very good. This is really reminiscent to me of Magical Mallet or Reload from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it also affects your opponent. So it does have that disruption effect potentially, which red card will do and shuffles your own stuff back in, but it negs you, like it's a -1. And while that's not as big of a deal right now in Pokemon, like card advantage is something that is going to continue to be applicable as cards get stronger and card quality is better and better. The shinies look so cool. And let's talk about this for a second. March 27th is really soon. It's less than a week away. And the crazy part is we just got Arceus EX. Like I still have to get my Glaceon EX to finish it out. So I'm barely scraping by finishing the set before the next one comes out. Now this is really fun from a content perspective, but it's really bad from like a continuous player perspective. I think they are going to start doing some like catch-up things, like little starter decks or something. Because if you haven't been playing this game since day one, or like you're a free-to-play player, it becomes really difficult. I've got a friend who's like still genetic apexing with his 2 packs a day. And it could be, where the game becomes inaccessible. But I don't think Pokemon's going to do that. I think they'll figure out how to make it. As we saw with the Triumphant Light, so much of that is like archetype specific. And if we move towards that, you can open 1 pack and have playable decks. And hopefully power creep won't be too crazy, and stuff that originally was there can still be good too. And because of things like weaknesses and breakpoints, they can utilize those cards in interesting ways. But this is what's really exciting right here, this EX starter deck mission. So we can see every single one of these attacks. All right, guys, so what we have here is super interesting. I'm having to like move myself around, so sorry about that, but we're going to look at these mons really quick. Wugtrio EX basically is a Dragonite style Mon who is going to, for 140 HP, we've got 3 water energy, super easy to set up with Misty. It's a stage 1 Pokemon, so way quicker than Dragonite. But what it's going to do is it's going to, one of your Pokemon's chosen at random 3 times, and then we're going to deal 50 damage to those Pokemon. So it's like a slightly worse Dragonite effect. But we're basically playing Whack-A-Mole. Such a fun card idea for something like Wugtrio, who's got this like Whack-A-Mole type effect. As far as a fun deck with like Cyrus, and then being able to put something like maybe the Palkia with it, having like Manaphy, Wugtrio, Palkia, plus Cyrus to pull in anything that you've pinged, really cool. We've got the Lucario EX, 3 fighting energy. Aura Sphere is going to deal a 30 damage to a benched Pokemon. So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to also, Cyrus is such a powerful card. You're going to be able to ping stuff. And if you're playing base Lucario also, which is a potentiality, you could play 1 Lucario EX, have them set up with your Riolu, and then you can attack for 120 damage, 140 against Arceus. So that could kind of even push it out. We've got the Clodsire. This, I hopefully will be like the muck that I was talking about in Pocket Roulette. 2 damage, it's going to deal an extra 60 if they're poisoned, so 120 potential damage, turn 2. And if Paldean Clodsire is such a cool, I like this Pokemon a lot, but Paldean Wooper hopefully will just poison the thing for 1 energy. And this is like the progression we needed from the Grimer and Muck. We've got Tinkaton. I like the Pokemon a lot, but I don't think this is going to be very good. It's a flip a coin if heads. It does 80 more damage, so a potential 160. It's kind of better Marowak that costs 1 more energy, but benefits from being a steel type. So you can use things like Adamant to keep it healthy. We've already talked about the Charizard. The Giratina is something that I think is actually going to be super cool. So it deals 130 damage for 4 energy, 3 of which are psychic. But its ability is called Broken Space Bellow. It will equip a psychic type energy to it, and then it'll immediately end your turn. But what you can do is pair this up with something like Gardevoir. You have Giratina as a wall in the front. You have Gardevoir building up in the back. You can turn 1, place a psychic energy, have your ults. Turn 2, place a psychic energy on your Giratina with its ability, plus the base 1. And then turn 5, you can actually start attacking, and you can have Gardevoir chilling for the next one. Or if you're going second, it's Giratina effect plus base, then you can have it's got some interesting play with a card who can boost it, because adding the energy ends your turn. So if you hit 4 energy by utilizing its effect, you're going to not be able to attack again until the next turn. But this gives you ample time to set up something like Mewtwo EX. So I could really see something like Giratina, Mewtwo, Gardevoir really popping off. You could potentially play base Mewtwo's as a wall also, while Giratina is setting up. And this doesn't require you to be the active Pokemon either, so he can chill on the bench while it's getting set up. So if you've got 2 Giratinas and Gardevoir, you've just got a ton of damage coming the opponent's way and forcing them to take 4 points. Then we have this Pikachu. This Pikachu is so funny to me because it's got the discard all energy, but it does 150 damage. So it's just a better version of the Raichu, but, you know, more consistent. I think it's cool seeing more Pikachu cards. Obviously, old Pikachu was very meta relevant in the first set. It's kind of fallen off since then, but as we continue to get like good basic mon, I think it'll be okay. We've got this shiny Beedrill, such a cool looking card, but man, it doesn't look particularly... let me take that back. Beedrill looks cracked. I just did an episode on Fearow, and basically, discarding a random energy consistently is really good. There's like some really cool potential for some stun stuff going on with Beedrill. You could also potentially pair it up with like Leafeon to get it set up with him. There's a lot of energy going on there. We've got Erika's to keep it. This Beedrill looks really sick. I'm really excited about it because if you pair it with something like, I could even see something like Cyrus Beedrill Greninja being a thing, pinging the opponent, pulling them in, and stopping any kind of crazy setup. Dealing with one energy is going to be less effective as energy ramp continues to progress in the game, but regardless, the ability to consistently do it is going to create some really fun like stun style strategies, which are just so up my alley. So I will definitely be rocking a lot of Beedrill plus Erika plus Potion plus Giant Cape. Like, you know, this Beedrill is never dying, unlike the games where every time I try to use a bug flying type, it gets murdered. And then we have Bibarel EX, which I just think is the worst of this bunch. It's 4 energy, 100 damage, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Not enough damage to be like super beneficial. Maybe putting this in a water deck with its effect plus Irida, you could be healing like a large potential amount of damage. But they could give us a cool Bidoof. The original Bidoof, who's got Super Fang, is super good in my head. Like, it's like you guarantee cut something in half, then you get to Bibarel. But I think they're going to have like a berry style card or some kind of way to make Bibarel more effective. Otherwise, he's just really underwhelming compared to some of the other things we have. Healing 30 does nothing. I'm reminded of like Cresselia EX, who like can heal the 30 on itself. It's just so much the worst version of Darkrai. With this set, hopefully we'll get another really cool, like, you know, the EX drop sets. But yeah, which EX are you the most excited for? Because I'm definitely the most excited for this Beedrill card. I think it's going to be so cool. I think Wugtrio is going to be fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun opening packs and playing cards in this new set. So anyway, thanks for watching. I know this video is like way less edited than the Pocket Roulette stuff I've been doing, but hopefully, you know, you're as excited about this set as I am, because I really am looking forward to it. Like, I was so excited to get home from the gym and make this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Pocket content. Check out one of my series where I spin a wheel and play with some random genetic Apex Pokemon until I can get a win. It's a lot of fun. We've had some interesting decks over there, and I'm trying to prove that I'm, you know, a very competent deck builder. And new set looks awesome. What do you think? Leave a comment about who your favorite EX is, and check out the series. So thanks for watching. I'll smell you later.